All right. It's that time again. All right. All right, all right. It's time to get into it. It was quite an impressive move. 370%. We'll see if this is the start of the shift or not. XXII has been making some moves as well. 150 to 2. This is kind of a death spiral, though. Yeah, not super impressive with that. Even the 7 a.m. prep launch, a lot of people got in here 1 minute before, or no, right at, actually. So right at, we saw a bunch of volume coming in. This is already quite extended at 360%. Considering how cold it's been, I'm just going to leave this alone for now. If it runs without me, it runs without me. I'll still watch it. I think it's going to be really important to set context for today, but I'm not sure how much I trust it. Pretty powerful rejection here, too. Fairly high volume. Have the start of what looks like a topping tail. We'll see if that ends up following through or not. There's certainly range here, but at least for me, I'm just going to keep watching this on the side. This first move up, I mean, it was almost straight up. There wasn't any 5-minute pullback at all. Straight from 60s all the way up to 240. So very, very impressive. Okay, Starlink information. Yeah, even just looking on the daily chart for this thing is massively over its daily. Yeah, but this is also a death spiral. Okay. Well, we'll see what becomes of it. I am hoping it holds up. but I'm not the most optimistic that it will. As far as news catalysts go, there's nothing else moving at the moment, so it's just this. Yeah, any kind of buy right now, I really feel like this could be the start of the backside of the move. Again, this thing was up like 350% or something whenever I was talking about it up here. This was quite an aggressive flush. I'm actually not super surprised to see this attempted a bounce. ADN ended up flushing. What was this? Probably some biotech that had bad news. Not really. So this went from 280 to 80 cents on this? What is this a Chinese stock? No. This feels massively, right? This thing's just completely tanked. Now this looks like this could have some kind of recovery. Actually, the volume is extremely light. So strange though that this would flush that hard. What does the 3-year look like? Okay, so I mean, it's possible someone had been holding this up and rugged it. But even at 130s, it doesn't really make much sense for them to be dumping at this price. Even after this initial pop back from 80 cents to $1.47 for it to come back all this way. So this is still very range bound, probably due to the lighter volume. CMBM still on a pullback right now. GNTA having some volume incoming here. I'll keep ADN on watch. So GNTA, we had a spike here very early pre-market, and it just kind of bled off. This makes me not really want to touch it. More interest. I'm really just more interested in this. I saw this go down on lighter volume. I could give it a try for a longer hold. It keeps giving 140 as an option. If we see like 130s, maybe I'll try it. Oh, this isn't even on news, so this is just some random pump. That's a little less reassuring. Yeah, I trust this even less now, just because of the lack of news. I think consolidate around here. These two candles are a bit concerning, though. They were on higher volume. I mean, if it is short sellers pushing this down, if we see it return to high day, that could squeeze out people, because this is very extended. Good morning to you, sir. I'm just having a look at some stocks here. This one is definitely interesting, but it's quite extended. I'm afraid maybe the move is already done. Okay, GNTA, looks like this might be a rug. Alright, so we had this pop up. This whole move was on lower volume. And everything from here was where the actual volume came in. So I'm not really convinced that that's safe. I'm really interested in this stock just from a value play. ADN. For this thing to have sold off on what is essentially neutral news. Oh no, it says earnings scheduled for today. Maybe there was bad news? Did they release earnings? Even with earnings, I still feel like this is quite an extreme reaction. If the news isn't even out yet. Nice return to high on CMBM. 50-cent move in 2 minutes is very strong. I still don't think I want to touch this right now. I really feel like just using this as a proof of concept is smarter, given how extended it is. This seems very range bound between 140, 145, 150. Looking at some of the stocks from yesterday too, and yeah, yesterday the stocks that were moving did not hold up very well. Yeah, even VSEE gave back most of the move. Yeah, I just don't trust this one at all. There's no news on it. It's really just CMBM and this for maybe a value play. That's really all I see right now. Like, this is an insanely huge drop. Yeah, the news didn't really do anything. Good luck to anyone who's going to take this trade. And it's still clearly like, it hasn't reversed yet. This looked like it might have been a reverse, but it's recovered. I still just don't trust it. It's done. It's already moved so much. I'm gonna go ahead and throw an order here. 27. If we see a sudden breakdown, we could see me get hit there. Raise this up to 31. Hey, this would be a longer term hold if I hold it. Just because of how slowly this one moves and how whiplashy it can be like on this pullback. I still feel like if this thing breaks down, it's going to go a bit lower. Man, this thing, CMBM, is really just grinding near the highs, though. This is, I mean, it's definitely good. I'm really happy to see it holding up this well. Just anything to give people confidence to hold longer. Yeah, nothing else really moving. No huge catalysts have come out. We'll see if 7:30 brings anything. FRGT from yesterday actually just really suffered. Right, this was one I was looking at. This thing just completely gave everything back. Ooh, okay. High volume on that breakdown. But we saw this earlier with these two. Both this candle and this candle had above average red. And both of these reversed as well. With that said, on the recoveries, the volume was also fairly high. This we had much lower volume than this candle. So this looks actually a little more bearish than these two. Actually going to drop this down 25 just because there's such large sellers here. Bump it to 26 just someone on the front side. So we're on the bid for ADN. See if anyone sells to me or not. How was there a 26 there? I should have been filled. Unless the order went there and it went to someone else. CMBM still pulling back. Yeah, like, why is there an order sitting here? Unless it's, like, not 126 exactly. Like, it's 126.01 or something. But yes, we're in here at 126. And yeah, this one's going to be a longer term hold. It's only going to be regular size, even though it's so cheap. Just because I was looking at how big this pullback was, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see something similar before any kind of recovery. Main thesis for a recovery here, the news catalyst didn't seem amazing, yet this thing had an absolutely monstrous drop, right? It's down like 50%, whereas the news doesn't seem apparent to me. So we're holding for some sort of gap fill. But yeah, I'm just going to have that one on the side. As for CMBM, looks like we're just having continued selling pressure. The volume has been higher on all these candles. It could be someone slowly distributing. At least that's what it looks like to me on the surface. I don't want to buy here. I don't even know actually where I would want to buy, because this isn't a terrible spot, but just, again, because I can switch this over to CMDM, because CMBM is still up like 300%, I'm still very hesitant to buy even on like a pullback like this, where the volume is so high and we're still so extended. And in the cold market context, it just feels too risky. This could be the start of the backside now. Or not. You never know. VSEE did do an interesting move yesterday, somewhat similar to this, where we had like a monstrous move that came out of what seemed to be nowhere on a penny stock, right? This one was 62 cents. CMBM was, yeah, around 62 cents. So basically same price range. The float is a little higher though. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this is the limit. This is already a pretty insane move. FGL. It's kind of been recovering from this initial sell-off. Looks like it might be a death spiral. No, not quite. So this one's only been around for around a year or so. ADN. Looks like it might be popping. If it does bounce from here, my entry was actually excellent, because I was basically the very bottom, if this is the bounce. All right, we got 1 minute till the half hour, and we'll see if anything new comes up. I'm currently in a position with ADN. This one is going to be a longer term hold. Really aiming for 150, 160, 170 range. Just watching the scanners to see if anything comes up. Pretty nasty move down here. Yeah, this is really starting to look like the backside now for CMBM. Yeah, and still kind of just sitting neutral. This did look like a bit of an overextension relative to the volume, but I just really didn't want to jump in here. It didn't look terribly bad, too. I think I still am going to stick with my initial assessment to just see how this stock plays out. To me, it's just, I'm too late to the party. It's already made the move. It did the move way early this morning. As far as catalysts at the half hour, I'm not seeing anything moving on the scanners. So it's looking like we're just going to be sitting tight. I got my fun little trade going on the side, just waiting to see if we're going to see a sudden rug to 120 or something. Didn't think it could get much colder than yesterday. If this stock hadn't made this move today, this would have definitely been colder than yesterday. It's only this stock that's making today look like not a total loss. PPBT is moving. It is a penny stock. You called it at the same time I did. Yep. So this one came out not at 7:30. Came out a few minutes later. It's a high volume on this candle. It's holding here. This looks strong. What is this float? Okay, no wait, this is just not adjusted. Okay, thinkorswim is showing much lower. Yeah, very, very high volume. Yeah, I don't know what this news catalyst actually means, but it looks like it's being received well. 1 million shares. Very, very strong move. Okay, we're seeing it fail here from 192, but this was on low volume. This still looks strong. Let's see if we have a pullback here or not. So this thing ended up just dying super hard. This thing actually doesn't move that much. Right? It's been historically pretty stable other than this massive move. Okay, so this ended up having a topping tail, but it was on lower volume, and it reclaimed at the end of the minute. This pop was on lighter volume relative to these. Still significant, though. Your volume's continuing to come in. This thing's not giving a proper pullback at all. It's just giving micro pullbacks. Not a single candle pullback. It's crazy. This reminds me a lot of yesterday's VSEE. A penny stock, similar price, did this monster move. Very high volume on this candle. Maybe the start of a reversal. This was a topping tail too. The MBM is also making another leg down here. See if it wants to break down more. Thing with PPBT is just, again, the SEE. I'm sure this is what other people are thinking about too. They're thinking of this stock, similar price. It struggled around 80 cents, a dollar, and after it broke that, it went straight basically to $4. I wouldn't be surprised at all if people are thinking about that with this. Extremely high volume. Even if this fails here, this was still a very impressive move, going up over 100%. I could have maybe taken the hint because of the SEE yesterday that this might have ran, but it was a sub $1 stock, and I almost never trade those. It doesn't look terrible. But right now I'm still more inclined to sit on the side. Just with how the market's been. Right, I mean, this is clearly holding up. Very high volume. We've broken below 1 a couple times. But just the fact that not a lot of stocks are holding up well is... It's making me hesitate to pull the trigger. I'm more just watching this, curious to see if this holds up or not. There has been significant range on these candles too, right? From 98 to 108, it's ranging about 10% per minute. That's not insignificant range. It's really clear that this 109, 110 levels critical level, not only for a new 5-minute high, but also just, you can clearly see it's a resistance line here. And likewise, if we see a break below 98 on high volume, that could be it. Looks like that might be it. High volume on a break, and it's not a small break either. Yeah. If the market was hotter, I might have tried it. It was holding up so well, but it's just the market's too cold. I just don't. I can't take trades like that. It's just not safe enough for me to do it. Now I feel really happy I didn't take it. My ADN trade, I mean, I've been in this stock now. I said this was a long-term hold, so it is what it is, but I went from like up 7 cents to down 8 cents, and now I'm like up 1 cent. Still, the price hasn't gone against me super hard yet, so I'll stay in this one a little longer. Yeah, CMBM, I feel like it's too late. I've said this several times now. I'm really happy this hasn't just gone straight down. It's gone down a little more. Like if it can hold here, that's still strong. I'm hoping it holds up. Yeah, I just know there's a lot of retail that was buying here looking for this next leg. Hmm. 5 minute actually looks even worse. This looks disgustingly bad on the 5 minute. Very clear rejection. Although the volume is lower on this, like we are seeing a deceleration in volume. This could bounce a little bit. Yeah, I'm mostly just waiting for the top of the hour. See if we get anything new on the scanners. I don't really think I did anything wrong here. I wanted to trade this, but there was no clean pullback, and it was under $1. By the time we did get an actual 1 minute pullback, it didn't even end up resolving well. Price was just too cheap for me. And I wouldn't be surprised if the main reason this performed so well was just because of VSEE. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Got what is that, a 100,000 share buyer at 112. But that could just be spoofing. Yeah, 112 is pretty far from the current price. I mean, it could just be someone doing what I'm doing, where I'm just looking at some sort of like gap fill. I would suspect as we get closer to market open, if the earnings isn't reported during pre-market, that I would expect this gap fill to close a bit. Man, this is so boring. Oh my god, it's boring. 4 minutes till the top of the hour. BT, small little bounce here. I don't really trust it to do more than a moderate bounce, though. I did think that was going to happen, though. So I was thinking around here, one of these candles, we would start to see a bounce. All right, because there was declining volume. This candle was higher volume, but at the time, this was lower volume. The dark side shorting. I have shorted. I've actually only done it. I've only shorted probably like 15 or 20 times. And I don't know. I'm very afraid to do that because I've made actually a good bit of money shorting, but the problem is shorting works until it doesn't. You know what I mean? And you got to be very particular with what you short. Like, I wouldn't want to short a Chinese stock, for example, because those things can gap up like 100% or 1,000%. But no, if you're someone that can short and you're going to short during pre-market when there's no halts, this is probably an environment where shorting is very effective. Because I'm long biased right now and there's like nothing to trade. Like the only opportunities I had was CMBM, but by this point at 7 a.m. the move's already, this thing's already up 350%. The move's already over. PPBT, the stock was a penny stock. It never gave a proper pullback either. And then when it finally gave the proper pullback, the run was over. I'm currently in ADN. We'll see how this one pans out. But yeah, there's just not a lot. This buyer is still here. The hundreds of thousand share buyer. MIAX. It's a very weird exchange. I don't really recognize this one. SMX, we got news on it. Let's see. So this one's kind of beaten up. All right, I'm in there. Looking for some kind of bounce. See if we get it or not. No. Yeah, I gotta try and get out. That's brutal. Very rough rejection. Close this one for now. Yeah, $47 loss on... I mean, that's just an insane flush on that. 480 all the way down to 390. And I mean, to be fair, that was actually probably like a 15-second drop. Very rough day. This ADN. SMX for the next one. It was a B plus. Very rough. Hate to see it. PDSB. Yeah, this one's a bit of a cheaper stock though. Volume's also a bit lighter. This is brutal. The only other stock that's really had any kind of news with a move, and it just does this. It's just horrible to trade right now. I want to see 80 yen though. I want to see if that order is still there or not. Don't see it. No, it's still there. Yep, BAER is moving as well. Good call out on that. That was a pretty weak rejection. I sold half there. Looking for a return to around 240s. $230s is really struggling. I'm taking another half off, or quarter off. Still holding 1/4. Very high volume here. Okay, 240s broke. Can we see 250? Man. I'm gonna cut it there. I was looking for 248, 249 to try and sell that last quarter. Yeah. Try and get back in here. 204. It felt like a little bit of an overextension. We're out there. Probably lost out on like, what was that? Where did I sell that last part? 19, and I could have sold it like 45. So it's like a $15 worth that I could have made. Okay. So I took 2 on BAER. Doing this a little out of order. Really good entry on that too. Trying to calculate what I would have sold at. So I made 21 on that. Something like that. Yeah, it's close. It did end up recovering too, but I mean, after seeing a hammer candle like that with the highest volume, I can't really trust it to do a move like this. This is very strange that we're seeing it kind of fizzle out around this 100,000 share level. I'll go ahead and put an order to add there if it gets filled. Let's see how this goes, if it's actually going to attack it or not. So 4,000 was hit. Well, no, but the 331 million, even if it's dead, it's new financing, so they might have struck a deal where before they may not have had a solution to pay it off. So maybe just this refinancing had some sort of deal with it. I'm not sure. That would be my guess, though. It's similar with the stock the other day that announced an offering, and it went up. I looked at it this morning, and it was still holding up, which was very strange. It is strange that this stock, though, is the one that's, like, made at least one leg back towards the first high. How did SMX do? Is it still dead? Oh, yeah, it's dead. Oh, yeah, it's dead. I mean, I can't believe I got caught in that big of a rug on that. Terrible rejection. Very strange, though. So this 100,000 share order doesn't appear to be a fake order because it stayed there the whole time and it lets some of it get eaten. So now I'm even more curious how this one's going to pan out. Considering this thing sold off 50% on no clear news, and now we're seeing a 100,000 share buyer this low, and the buyer appears to be real, to me that gives me conviction to hold. I was already going to hold this for a little bit, but this gives me that little bit of extra conviction. When did I buy this? I opened the position about 40 minutes ago, 50 minutes ago. I'll check it out. Sure, it's KTYX. Because I'm not seeing anything. Oh, no, wait. Oh, is this like a new stock? It's not showing up on Thinkorswim for me. The, live news is acting very funky. Yeah, this one isn't showing me anything. What the heck is this? Like, look at this. The time... Okay, now it's working. It wasn't loading before. Wow, so yeah, CMBM did end up rallying back. Yeah, no, I must have been on the wrong one. No, impressive that CMBM retested. Oof. Yeah, this is really a big red flag. This whole rally really was on extremely low volume, like you were saying. The real volume really started to come in around here. So this is really... Yeah, everything from here down could have been someone accumulating, and this could be part of just them dumping. No, I don't trust this. I mean, to be fair, I've already gotten screwed over by one rug pull today. No, I mean, the fact that this is re-rallied back up, that's very interesting, and it's on the highest volume, too. Right, so you had people that got in at 7. This was shaking out all the people that got in at 7. And maybe now you're seeing a re-rally? PPBT did recover the $1. I don't know if I want to mess with it, but it's worth noting that it did recover. I'm still a little iffy just because this thing's so extended. But it's very, very surprising to me that this thing rallied back up. That gives me a... I mean, I wasn't really convinced we were going to keep moving up from here because it just felt like it was exhausted. But seeing this pullback and now it retested, that certainly creates some pressure. We got 5 minutes till the half hour. Still not sure what to make of this. Yeah, the 270s to 275, this is a clear area to watch. That would be the 5-minute high as well. PPBT is moving more again. I really didn't expect this. We are about to be at the half hour, so I would rather look for a stock that is new than trying to trade this. Good luck. BO, what is this? Okay, this one actually came out around 25. Okay. Thanks for that call out on that. Decent volume. Very, very high float though. PPBT might be breaking out again. It's ADN looking. Is it still holding or? This MIAX broker, that's the one that had the huge order. Now they just have a apparent 100 shares. Could be a hidden order. It's disguised as 100. Very nice move on PPBT, by the way. BLBX. Yeah, this one didn't even show up on my scanners. I'm guessing it's yeah, I don't know why this one's not showing up. Okay. Merger. Okay, $200 million letter of interest. This one has a history of making big moves. This is quite a heavy candle. Okay, now I'm seeing this. Yeah, it just took a minute to populate. PPBT is now at high of day. Yeah, seeing how bearish this candle looked, I wasn't too optimistic to buy. Still definitely could reverse. This is an actually pretty intense range on this. 850 to 1250. Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of them are just rolling over too. This one looks like it's like holding up a little better. But a lot of stocks have come out. Yeah, it feels like 8:30 almost. Like you'd think it'd be on the flat hour, but it almost feels like the half hour, this specific half hour, always seems to have a lot of the catalysts for biotech come out. At least lately. This feels too noisy for me to touch right now. I need a pattern to develop first. It's also a bit cheaper. But hey, at least this one didn't fail within the first 2 minutes. FUBO is still holding up pretty well. So that's another one to keep watch. It's not moving quite as fast though, because the float is much higher on it. It's 300 million. Very interesting to see volume exponentially climbing here. Gonna get in here. Nice. As the volume was climbing, I noticed on this pullback it was low volume and there was almost no selling pressure. That was the signal for me. Surprised it went up that much because I sold it like what 185. This went way more. Well, to be fair, the float is very low combined with how much volume was coming in. But this still felt kind of irrational to hold because we hadn't had a proper pullback. I think me selling was correct, at least just from a fundamental level. That's quite aggressive. I'll leave it a B+. PPBT, very nasty pull. Okay, it doesn't look as bad on the 1 minute. I was looking at the 5 minute. I thought it went straight down. Still, all these candles are extremely high volume. I mean, yeah, at least it's heating up a little bit. It was extremely cold this first hour. There was almost nothing going on. I'm actually really surprised it's heated up this much. I mean, you say hungry, but like, I still feel like a lot of stocks are rolling over. Like this one's resolved really well, right? Extremely high volume, and we're seeing some follow through. Right, this has gone up like what, 80%? 67%. But other ones, like you get like SMX, like what the heck? this isn't what I would call bullish, but yeah, this one failed horribly. GTA, this one also kind of failed. But no, you're right. It seems like today wasn't a complete disaster. While there's been some pretty nasty rugs, there have been stocks that have been holding up. Like PPBT had this pretty strong move. Our main stock is still holding up. Right? This is by no means died. So no, you're definitely right. It is not as cold as it was yesterday for sure, and it might even be a little better than last week. It's still cold, but it's definitely heated up a little bit. I'm thinking about whether I should just cut the ADN trade at this point. I've held it for a little over an hour. I did say I was going to hold this for a long time. But my thesis was going to be that because there was this strange 50% drop on no news, that this should recover by morning or by market open. And it's kind of just gone sideways. So I'm debating if I should just cut it or not. I might just wait until the end to cut it. But yeah, it's surprisingly not doing anything. No, it's still holding, right? But I don't want to just like sit here and monitor it all day. So like I'll have to do something with it at some point. The goal was to hold it. And like I said, I was aiming for like 140, 150, 160. And that's still kind of like looking at the daily, that's still a totally rational price target, right? 160 is right where this support is, which is now resistance. So like it's rational to hold to that. I just don't know why it would dump this hard and not curl sooner. And you had that 100,000 share buyer here, which appears to have at least held up this first test. Yeah, I don't know. I'll keep holding it for now. It hasn't failed. ERNA is making a new attempt at going higher. Yeah, no, definitely when I finish this session, I'm going to sell it. It's just going to suck if it's red when if it's like on the pullback when I sell it, but... I really should be thankful, though. Like, I've basically fully recovered that $47 rug pull on SMX. That was such a nasty rug. Ugh. Debating if I want to jump in this one or not. You had pretty heavy volume here, but it recovered. And the volume had picked back up. We've got 3 small topping tails. That's a little bit bearish. Right, every time it's popped up, it's been pushed back. But we're also seeing this incline. It doesn't look terrible, but it doesn't look like an A+ quality. Maybe like a B+ or just a regular A. I'll jump in there. That pullback felt weak. Trying to sell half. Wasn't able to get out half. I'll keep the order. I'm gonna cancel it now. If it goes back to 209, I think it's going higher. Or are you just rolling over? Very strange. Tried to get in there at 188. Yeah, this volume on this breakdown, same with this one. Both these breakdowns were very low volume. I still feel bullish on this. Maybe I'm chasing. I'm cutting it there. It's looking like if this thing breaks, it's going to have a bigger move down. It still feels so bullish, though. That's so rough. So I bought... My first entry was really good. It ended up bouncing. I tried to sell. My order was on the bid, or on the ask to sell half. Didn't get it, though. Felt like such a good setup, too. Like, even this, like, this volume. I mean, I could have just tunnel visioned, I guess. We did have the 3 topping tails and this hard rejection here. Maybe it's not too shocking. Yeah, volume is a bit higher on this one, though. It always feels bad when you get out, right? So I had sold for a loss at 185, and here I'm thinking, man, I'm the idiot that sold at the bottom of this curl. But then 2 minutes later, you see this and you realize, okay, maybe it's not so ridiculous to sell when you're down. I really thought once this break of 2 was so weak, I really thought it was going to bounce. All right, I was going to sell half at 209 and then sell the other half at either the high of day or wait for a break. All right, we got 7 minutes till the 9 o'clock. Top of the hour. It's so tempting to just want to get back in. All right, got 5 minutes till the top of the hour. So CMBM had a pretty nasty rejection there. All right, we had an attempted breakout into a sudden flip. Fubo's finally pulling back a bit. This one had a pretty nice run up, just no real breaks. This one has a high float though, right? Yeah, 339 million. ASTS is moving, but it's extremely expensive. Yeah, I probably won't touch that one. All right. 30 seconds till the top of the hour. I'll see if anything else is coming up here, and if not, I'm gonna bounce. I'll give it like 3 or 4 minutes. Yeah, haven't seen anything pop on the scanners yet. We have LITS. So this one pumped but immediately fell back. Oh, 25 million repurchase program. Oh, this seems strong. Yeah, I'll get in with that. Seeing a buyer here. Seems like a strong catalyst. Pretty interesting how hard this pullback was, though. Really would like to see more volume coming in with this. Yeah, this is not what I would have expected to see. I thought since we had this curl, this break, and the news was strong, we would see an immediate pop. The volume is fading. Non-existent volume. Maybe it's just a market where people aren't willing to jump in even for a catalyst like this. It could be, too, that people got in and got spooked by this large red candle. Like it recovered. Okay, the order moved up. Does it just completely go sideways after this? Hmm. Sell order just in case we see a pop. This volume is very light. At least we had one good trade. I don't know why this volume just completely dried up, though. Hmm. No, but I think I'm just going to call it with that, because, no, it's about that time. But yeah, thank you all for tuning in. I'll go ahead and end the stream here shortly, and I'll make the recap afterwards. Yeah, no, today was much better, at least in terms of volume and just actual price action. Not as many things flushed hard. I had that really bad trade on SMX where I just got caught in this, and it was pretty nasty. $47 loss. But yeah, I'll go ahead and end it here. You guys have a good rest of your day, and I will be back tomorrow.